and Destiny show. Why is this show called this, you may ask? So I'll tell you. The acceptament of angel messenger and the acceptament of destiny is to make firm establish. So I guess I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And of course, I like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful guest, Jennifer Taylor. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means a lot to both of us to connect with like-minded people. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Rae, and I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and I'm a spiritual guide and healer passionate about helping you reconnect with your divine presence and step into your purpose. Now, through angelic Reiki, angel oracle cards, guided meditations, and exploring past and future lives, I support you in healing your past and creating a soul aligned future. Now, my journey has taught me that with the right tools and guidance, we can all connect with our higher selves, embrace transformation, and live a life of abundance and fulfillment. Now, each episode of this show covers various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation or an oracle card reading with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's guest, Jennifer Taylor, about healing your soul with future life progression, which, as you know, is a subject close to my heart.
Mm.
Now, Jennifer is a visionary soul coach, intuitive and creative entrepreneur. As a future life progression practitioner, she empowers clients and businesses to align to their best possible future. By resolving the past and revealing their future path and destiny, transforming feelings of being stuck, receiving profound insight, and fast tracking their best possible future. Now, Jennifer also also offers design, production, and media services, specialized in working with brands and businesses interested in producing high vibrational attuned projects using a combination of sacred frequencies and a multidisciplinary design and strategy approach. Now, complementing her coaching and design work, Jennifer hand blends organic botanical products in the UK, ethically sourced and vegan friendly, to harmonize mind, body, and spirit. Now, these unique blends offer spiritual protection, uplift, and purify your emotions and overall well-being. Now, Jennifer also hosts 108 Healing Senses podcast, on which I will be a future guest. Now, with testimonials such as Jennifer has truly helped me find peace and clarity in my life. The session allowed me to see my future clearly and gave me the confidence to make positive changes to my future and let go of things that were hanging around from my past. I highly recommend experience the session for anyone seeking a new positive new direction. And sometimes we need like help seeing through the fog. If you need help sorting out your thoughts, planning your long term, then I highly recommend Jen's kind and caring guidance. She helped me to clarify my thoughts and acknowledges truths that are hidden in amongst everyday noise of living. So, without further delay, hello, Jennifer, and welcome to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Rae. What a lovely introduction. It's nice hearing that aloud.
I know sometimes we forget.
Yes, and it's really wonderful being here today and just bringing another dimension and perspective on the soul path, your soul's journey through highs and lows, and yeah, hopefully bring a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, definitely. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Jennifer and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy. So Jennifer, why don't you tell us more about your journey and how future life progression, which we might shorten to FLP to save time, can help heal our past and prepare folks and take action on building our future, and the importance of healing generational trauma and having purpose, passion in life.
So, my background is steeped in a very caring, compassionate, and loving family. Growing up, there was a lot of mental ill health and also physical ill health in the family, and they have certainly they sculpted my path for me to get to where I am. Understanding that in order to heal those deepest, darkest wounds and pains that you have and carry, and you may be carrying from generations ago, and let alone your parents, trauma gets passed down through generations when the patterns don't change. when the responses or the reactions in a family don't change, that's how patterns just continue to repeat, and that's how generational trauma continues. But it's been a really fascinating journey for me, because I realized that I really needed to find me, go inwards to great depths to just figure it out, because I'm sure there's many people listening that they resonate with not feeling mentally balanced, feeling scattered. You're ending up making poor choices in decision making, including relationships. It's like you're unable to see these warning signs, or you see it and then your intuition is flagging you, but you haven't chosen to listen. And so you have to go the long road to get to receive that experience of that lesson, that relationship, which ultimately always comes back to, how do you have healthy self-esteem? Do you have good, healthy boundaries? The small things really add up to create a much more profound vessel for you. So if you're scattered, what can happen, and this is where the generational trauma part comes in, because that scatteredness just continues. So if someone was to have something traumatic happen in their life, and it could be any lifetime, and this is where FLP is a really powerful tool to be able to come in and pinpoint whereabouts in time did this trauma first start. Past life regression is amazing for that part of the FLP experience. You're in this safe container, you're able to go back to that place in time where something traumatic did happen, but you won't experience it. For a start, you won't experience the pain. I have had non-FLP sessions, past life regression sessions before, and it was not, the safeguards were not in place.
Yeah.
And that can also happen as well in this field of like, oh, I want to learn more. I want to learn more about me. I can do that through going through my timeline, because that is possible. But knowing the right person to work with, who, or even those, learning the correct way of doing things so it's safe. Very important.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Safety is very important, and yeah, there are some past life things that have taken place, and you can actually feel that they're happening, but it doesn't have to. I mean, sometimes though, it is what the person needs, but that's very rare that happens. And of course, when you set up the safeguards initially for it,
Mm.
it will only occur if that's part of the learning process that they need to have. If it's not, then they don't
Yes.
experience it. But you're there as well to help them through if they do experience it, rather than if you're doing an online one
Mm.
and you have that trauma, there's no one there to hold you in that space and make sure you come out of it
Yeah.
unscarred.
Yes, absolutely. And that's such an important point. Like, it's all well and good wanting to do soul healing work, you might want to do shadow work. You have to have a really good, strong, even if you're doing it by yourself, like, have a system in place where you can self-nourish, you have self-care things planned, so it's not just hard work, because it shouldn't be like that. Healing can be fun, it can be simple, it can be easy, and it's the small things that we do in our day. And then sometimes we do get to the opportunities to have experiences using FLP, for example, to be able to have very profound experiences that will, you won't be the same person afterwards. Every time I've done any timeline work for myself, going back or forward, I have always been a more integrated version of myself when I step out of it. So even in that respect of being able to use FLP as a tool for soul integration, you have shamanic soul integration, and interestingly, like, what if more mental health cases actually used more shamanic practices, more healing practices, more ways to allow the soul's energy to return back to its completeness. Right? That's kind of where I'm seeing how easy it could be. But if people don't know about it, then they don't, like, you don't know what you don't know.
No, exactly. You don't, and that's why it's great that FLP is getting out there, and there's so many different practitioners, people from the mental health background that are doing it, people that work with children that are doing it, and they're bringing it into those areas, which is why it doesn't matter how many people are doing FLP, because everyone fits into a certain category of people that they attract, that they are there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and everyone we are all assigned to souls. We're all assigned to frequencies, actually. And I got this last time I did FLP, and I went forward, and I had a real understanding of how energy seemed to work at a higher level as well. How ultimately in life, everything is about frequency. When you complete an experience, it's almost like if you were to think of it like a video game, you've got 100% of that frequency as an experience, and then you can go to the next level of the game. It's almost like that. I kind of feel like actually using technology as reference points to spirituality, they're similar, but they're different. But it can also be used as a way to deliver just the simplicity of rewriting your programs. The trauma doesn't need to stay there, and you sure don't need to stay in that energy either. It can change, it can transmute, but you have to have awareness that you can even change it in the first place. But that's where that self-awareness comes in, that self-responsibility comes in, that self-sovereignty comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. It totally does, and it's recognizing the right people that can help you with that as well, and knowing that you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there are certainly times that I had on my journey and my experience where I was deeply alone, profoundly alone, and for my soul in that moment, I needed that. I needed that, like a forced reboot, to reclaim myself, reclaim my energy, to learn to love me from the inside out. And people might think, "Oh, yeah, I love myself." But do you really love and accept yourself and hold compassion for the choices that you make, the life that you've had, the life that you're living right now? Like that softness and sweetness that each of us can cultivate within ourselves, and it has to start within. You may love, but if your cup isn't full within, then you're always going to be running on empty. That's quite a I've had that before in a toxic relationship, or toxic relationships in the past. And you overgive with love, because also there's this, you're feeling a deficiency in the fact that you don't feel loved, but you also feel a lot of love. So it's this kind of dichotomy of, like, you want love to be loved, but you're also making the wrong choices in the decisions that you're making, the relationships that you're in. So it's the discernment is a key step in rewriting your patterns, rewriting your choices that you make. And relationships are certainly the biggest and largest thing that every single soul on this earth has to experience. and and the integration of our light and our inner darkness that is our soul's mission, however many lifetimes it may take. Like, that, really practicing that deep inner love to yourselves, even if as an example, because people might be like, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, how am I meant to feel love if I'm not feeling love? Even if it's as simple as saying the statement and you just connecting, just even holding your heart and breathing, is saying, I align myself to in love. I align myself in love, and I align myself to my highest timeline in love. You can get as creative as you want, but it's like you have to tune your frequency to the radio station that you actually want to experience. If you're not quite in love but you want to be in love, you tune it in. Get yourself flowers, get chocolate, enjoy chocolate, guilt free.
Oh yeah, totally. And of course, there's also, look at yourself in the mirror. Look in your eyes in the mirror. Really look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's way of knowing whether you've got that self-love or not.
I'm not sure if I said this to you or not. I feel like I have, but it might have just been an energetic. I've told you this. I remember the point in my self-healing journey a few years ago that I remembered looking in the mirror one day, and I really loved the woman that was staring back at me. She felt a part of me, but also different. And I felt this real, like, I really love you. And I really felt it. And that was when I knew, oh, this is one of my this is a massive win. This is a massive goal on my healing journey, because I had that real, without any, you can tell how you're doing by how neutral or how loving you're feeling about a certain thing, not necessarily overexcited about something or like massively negative about something. I always find, if you the discernment comes from a real neutral space, neutral to positive, but it's like your heart is the middle of the scale, and as it hangs balanced, and that's kind of how it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And thank you for sharing that experience. You've not said it to me in person, so
Energetically.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who's listening to this that'll go, "Oh, that makes sense now."
Mm.
Oh, that maybe I ought to give that a go and find out where I am on that scale. With that. So, you know, how do we, heal our soul? There are obviously there are so many different ways out there, but how
Mm.
can FLP, future life progression, help us heal our soul?
I would say I kind of feel like there's two categories, and I do believe healing and purpose should go side by side, because you can't spend all your time healing, because you kind of be unbalanced to a degree. You need to also have purpose, where you're sort of, incoming energy, healing, introspective, and all that good stuff. And then you also want to have something that you're able to create, have something that you're putting out into the world, and having that, maybe doing some volunteer work, or just being creative, thinking creatively, a hobby, it could be anything. But I do feel like there's kind of two spaces people may be in, and they might maybe more on the, actually I need more help on the healing side right now before I can really get roots deep in for building a business, building a legacy. So I would say, and I've heard this before with people that are, you probably hear like A game, like they've, I remember hearing it from and other business owners. They're like, oh, I don't want to stop. I don't want to do the inner healing work because it might break me and it will kind of ruin what I've built. I thought that's an interesting thing to kind of say, but I kind of
Yeah.
get it. It depends how much trauma that you're holding and you're needing to transform. But coming back to the FLP side of things, wherever you are in your journey, whether it's the I need some healing, going back to the past, if there's any patterns or programming that you keep looping, even in relationships in this lifetime, like, why do I keep always repeating attracting this kind of person or this kind of situation? That's a good one. That's a really good one for past life. Also integrating any past gifts as well. That's a real beautiful thing, because we've had many lives. We've had lifetimes of mastering skills. So what better way of connecting to the best parts, and then also helping to release any of the old parts that no longer serve us and are the experiences that our soul needed in order to evolve, in order to integrate more dark and light. Again, so going into the future, I have had very profound experiences connecting to a future life of me, not this incarnation, a future incarnation. Had such profound healing. I've worked with many healers and facilitators over the years, and this was on another level. This was deep soul healing from myself, from my future self, releasing things that no longer serve me. So not only can you use FLP to help you with clarity for the direction of your business that you want to take it in, or building a legacy, something that will go on for generations, even after you've gone, and it keeps helping people. Yeah, I love FLP for that. It can intermingle, because you might need past life healing work, and then it might also then transpose into, actually, now you've created that space, now you can create. Are you ready to receive, your next big thing, your next big product, idea, book, film, whatever it might be?
Yeah, and I mean, so many people have created books and programs and businesses and new lives from going into the future. But you've got to take the action as well, haven't
Yes.
you?
Yes. Yeah. And so it's kind of how I'm able to do I have multiple prongs of skills that I have, a skill set. So that's kind of where I've found that, right, I did the healing part, I was building at the same time, but the building work that I'm doing now, and I'm in like a really, really beautiful heart complete space, is now it's coming to the next level, and I wouldn't have been able to reach that if I hadn't have finished doing my healing work, deep inner healing work. But as it's, kind of transforming and evolving, I'm able to anchor higher frequencies of love and compassion and patience, and all of the things that I was able to give to myself, I'm now able to reflect it out into the external things that I create, including my businesses, and ideas and projects. And it's very profound. It's all part of the journey. There's no competition, even if you to think there's no competition with anyone else. And then if you just to make it, I'll just make it a competition with myself. And then after a while, you'll just realize there is no competition. I just do my best, and I have a great time doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's no competition. I think sometimes we do put that pressure on ourselves, but then maybe that's because of the relationships we've had with our parents, with our peers, when we were being brought up, that we're carrying. So it may not even be a previous lifetime, can it? It could technically be something that happened in your childhood that, has put that pressure on you now, or is causing you issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, with FLP, sometimes it could just be as little as it's just this lifetime, but at least you can find it now, and you don't have to continue life with pain and suffering. That's you can't access it. It's like you haven't got the light to shine on the dark part that needs attention and focus. And when you're in FLP, there's such a soft space. It's like being in this kind of love bubble container. That's kind of the feeling. Which is that's also part of the process of it being a safe container as well. But the wisdom that comes in is very profound, and everyone, the practitioner and the client, will leave changed than before. They will be different. They will be different people. They'll have more awareness. They'll have more compassion. They'll have more love and grace towards themselves and others, and realizing that life is not finite, it's infinite.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love the way you describe that bad one. I think that is so sweet and so lovely. I like that.
Yeah.
All nice and warm and cozy and
Cozy. Yeah, we love it cozy. Yeah.
oh, we love we love it cozy. So where do the botanicals fit into all of this?
So I've been into essential oils since I was 16, so more than half my life now. And they've been such useful tools along the way. Even from things like if you've burnt yourself in the kitchen, get some high grade lavender oil and put it straight on. You don't even need to put uh, a carrier oil to dilute it. And so there's all these really profound, incredible botanical alchemy really with the body that takes place. Suppose really through much of my I had physical ill health, needing to rebalance my mental health, and essential oils played a really big role in both of those, and the emotional and spiritual healing as well. Like all of the bodies that you have, all of the energetic systems that you have, are all positively affected by botanical products, by the oils, because they're so synergistic with the body and the cells. Essential oils are one of the few things that can actually enter the cell of a body. Most of the time, bodies don't like letting stuff, the cells, things in it, unless it's, can get in. So it's very profound, this really ancient wisdom held in plants. And when they get distilled into essential oils, their strength can go from 50 to 100 times more powerful than the equivalent in its original herb form. So when you distill it down. So there's this just incredible experiences that you can have, and they're just self-soothing, really great for spiritual protection as well. I had many experiences where I used my number two oil. I have this beautiful number two oil, and it's for spiritual protection. I call it reconnect because really it's like reconnecting with source. That's the frequency. That's the love is the highest form of protection. So that's that protection coming right in. And I infuse the oils and the packaging with sacred frequencies, and they all have pure intentions to do exactly what it says in the tin. Um, yeah, I love them. They're so profound, so profound. Again, another way of kind of navigating life. If you're feeling, if there's any like depression in the house, orange, citrus are really grapefruit, really lovely, uplifting the spirit. Like even if you don't have any oils, open an orange, go and open a citrus or some lemon, and it invigorates you, kind of wakes your senses up. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
does.
it is that they're kind of like even when you look at an orange, it looks joy or a lemon, they look joyous, they look
Yeah,
happy.
yeah,
For it. So yeah, even if you don't have, and I totally agree with lavender. I've been using lavender for years and years and years and years and
mm,
years. Well, it's one of my favorite herbs.
yeah,
Anyway, and if you can't afford the oils, because some oils, if you're looking for the high
mm,
grade stuff, some of the oils are quite expensive because of the process that takes it, then
yeah,
the plant is just as good.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing I love about plants and nature is, again, it's just a frequency. Yes, you can have higher strength things, but it's just as good to get a smaller bottle of something that is of higher quality and then add carrier oil to it, or do it as you go along. So there's lots of ways to benefit it, and a little does go a long way. Really
Oh
does.
yeah.
Yeah, and it can positively affect the whole family as well, not just adults, even kids and babies. That you have to be mindful of what oils you're using from where and the dosages. But there are a safe list of essential oils. It's great for kids if if anyone wants to start including more complementary natural things into their family life and their home solutions kit for when things come up. Scrapes, you might want to get some colloidal silver, and it cleans the area. So holistic health played a large role in my life before I really got into essential oils, and just how the body, it really comes down to, do you have toxification? Are you malnourished of vitamins and minerals or love? How healthy is the environment that you're in? All these things. It can either be like a really healthy, loving, positive environment that supports your healing, or it could be massively stressful, abusive, very disempowering, which doesn't help and assist you in your self-healing journey. Like when you're in stress, it makes it a lot harder to heal at a better speed. But you have to reduce the stress, reduce and remove any destructive things from your world in order to heal in like a loving, effective way. I know it's not always able for people to do that. They might just wake up and realize that, oh, I'm in a toxic relationship, and then that whole kind of awareness then also starts. That was a journey for me as well. I remember reading a article in Mind Body Green many years ago, and it said what a toxic relationship was, and I was going down the bullet points, and I was like, oh god, I'm in one. But
Tick, tick, tick.
yeah, and I think sometimes it has to be almost spelled out for people, because if you're used to a destructive thing in your life as being normal, then how are you able to even discern what is a positive, healthy experience to have if all you've ever known is destructive? So sorry, I know we've meandered off of holistic health and essential oils.
That's okay. Obviously the show weaves where it's supposed to go, and and what people listening are meant to hear. What is what is for their highest good at this moment in time.
Yeah,
And yeah, it is quite often we don't recognize we need we either need that wake up call, or to see an article or someone to say something that kind of like triggers that, oh, hold on, maybe there is something that's not quite right here that I
yeah.
need to maybe look at.
Yeah, and I think even, and it could come back to your own business as well. It doesn't need to be relationships, or it might be relationships in your business or your neighbors. There's a lot of interesting things that happen with relationships that when you start delving, it may be connected to past lives. It might be due to clearing karma in this lifetime. That can happen as well. Um, but it doesn't, when you complete these contracts, things will happen, and then something big will happen that you split off from that person or persons, and no, you won't have contact again. It will be like a real done deal. Then okay, this is contract complete, and then you're on to the next group of experiences. I do want to come back, and I'm getting the nudge to come back to it.
Yeah.
Anyone that is listening and that is in a toxic relationship or situation, it's really important to be honest with yourself, and whether or not it's a safe space to continue living there, if the other person is willing to change, or if they're stuck in it and is stuck in blaming you, then I would highly suggest coming up with some sort of exit plan, however quickly that you can do that's safe, and have reach out to support networks if need be, whether it's local council, whatever it is, or even someone like me or Rae, um, or anyone we might recommend too. So yeah, that I just wanted to put that out there, because I know it can, if you might know someone or you're going through it, it can be a tough one, like, what do I do? But it's always come back to just be really honest with yourself, like, what's the best for me now and what's the best for me moving forwards.
Yeah, no, makes absolute sense. So how do you do the harmonic frequencies for your items?
I make the graphics, and I tune the graphics with the colors and things. So that's on like the graphic side. So yeah, I put those sacred frequencies into the graphics that I make. I also um bless all of the oils as well, and the blends. I hand blend them all, and I put a lot of my love and healing frequencies into them too. And when I've created the recipes, they originally started from being divinely channeled. So with a divinely channeled. So as a kind of beautiful conglomeration of things, wherever you go, even like the bottle that holds, it's almost like its own little sacred healing. Instead of it being like a crystal, you've got a bottle that's got of healing frequency that has all of that energy focused in on itself and emitting outwards. So whether you hold it or you use it, it's still got the same healing frequencies attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people forget about about the way objects can actually hold energy. It's not just for humans or live forces. It can actually be static things like bottles or diaries or
Mm.
any object. A city. Anything can have energies that can cause issues. Might not give you beneficial issues. So it could be that there's lots of stories about someone brings a painting in or an object in, and suddenly the whole harmony of the house just
Mm.
goes crazy because of this one object.
Yeah. Yeah. And that can happen with anything, including things like charity shop as well. So if you were to buy secondhand clothes, I would highly recommend, if you want to kind of do it as like an energy clear up, stick some tumbled like crystals in, maybe in a sock, but it's all kind of together. You might want to add some essential oils to your washing machine, and really like with the intention of like cleaning and transmuting any energies from previous owners, so it's nice and kind of clean slate really. So that's something, because the things that you own in your wardrobe, if you were to consider, are there any items that you have that make you feel sad or hold a really emotionally charged memory to it, then it actually does hold that memory. So we can hold positively charged things in our homes, or we can hold negatively charged things that kind of anchor us back to a past time that caused us pain. So that's really important. Like, what are you wearing, and what have you got in your home space, and what are you bringing in? And when you are giving things away for charity, maybe you want to bless them and say, may you find your perfect person to wear you. Those small things, like, everything has energy, everything remembers. Nothing that you do or say or think is not recorded in the kind of etherics of life. You might also know it as the Akashic records. And yeah, it's really, when you start kind of seeing life and how can I leave it better than when I found it. I love and I love that if I can leave someone better than when I found them, that makes me so happy. And doing these podcasts, it makes me so happy. I have no kind of attachment to any outcome other than just coming, having a lovely time, having a chat, and just seeing what flows through, and knowing that someone somewhere will benefit from this conversation. That brings me a lot of joy. A lot of
Yeah.
joy.
So is that why you started the podcast?
Yes, actually, I was really sick in January, first 2 weeks of January this year, and I didn't even stop over Christmas. I felt in like I had so much energy coming to me. I was even designing the graphics, retweaking my logo and stuff then, and then I was suddenly thought, I want to be part of bringing more solutions to the world than less problems, like more problems. I want more solutions than problems in the world, and I want to help people find their tribe, because everyone's got different frequencies. We will attract different people at different times. People will enter our lives and leave, and other times people will stay because they are still in resonance with our frequency enough that we stay as friends or stay in contact. So yeah, it's good. What was the question? I totally forgot.
No, it's why you started the podcast.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely. I feel I'm networking. I don't even have to leave my house. It's great as well. There's so many lovely prongs. And I also know the right people that want to work with me or like what I offer as services and products, they can find me too. Because if you don't put yourself out there, then no one's gonna know you exist. So yeah.
No, that is true. They wouldn't know. So, as you know, I do angel oracle card readings, guided meditations, and each week I like to ask my guests what they would like me to do for themselves and those watching. So, Jennifer, would you like me to pull an oracle card for you and everyone watching, or do a mini guided meditation?
The card. Yeah.
Funny enough, I have the cards in my hand as we
Ah,
speak. Who knew that there'd be cards somewhere nearby or in my hands
I was vibing it.
as we speak. So, as regular viewers will know, but if you're not aware, and you're a new viewer, then when I do the cards, I do the cards for what you need to know for your highest good at this moment in time. So, although I work with the past, when I take people back to the past, it's to learn to heal from, so it doesn't trouble them in the present. I want to take people into the future, it's so they can see, understand, know their future, what steps they take, so they come back to the present, so they're no longer worrying about it and they can be fully present. So everything is always for what we need to know for our highest good in this moment in time. So what does Jennifer and everyone who's watching this live or the replay need to know for their highest good? Oh, okay, we'll go with that one that jumped out, shall we? Perfect. Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges.
Love it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And that, perfectly ties in, as the card always does, with what we've been talking about. Matches the colours of your background, which is always brilliant.
Yeah.
So it is saying to you, Jennifer, and to those watching, that transformation is around us at the moment. We can rise from the ashes like a phoenix at the moment. There is a fresh new way of seeing the world, of living, of being, and Jennifer, you've started doing that with the new podcast and putting yourself out there now and everything. And for those that are watching, see what new ways of living, ideas, thoughts are coming to you at this moment in time, whether that's through a thought that comes in your head, watching a podcast, or listening to a podcast, finding something in a book, hearing a song, etc. There's so much transformation taking place at this moment in time that you just need to tune into that energy, to that frequency. So yeah, I love that cards actually come out.
Yes.
So, Jennifer, do you have any insights or thoughts or last words of wisdom to leave our viewers?
Actually, I will follow on from your card because it
Yeah,
was
lovely.
transformation is also alchemy. That's another
Mm,
word for alchemy. Alchemy means this is my this has been my experience and my interpretation of it. So, taking something that was of great challenge, could be of great pain or suffering, to alchemize the experience, not only is it to pour love into yourself and heal yourself from the inside out, and to find yourself through your own heart, which reconnects you back to source. That's how you do it. Then, once you do that, your love that you're able to experience with the rest of the world will be even more amplified because you're able to experience that highest level of love through yourself, and you'll be able to receive more and also to give more. But also the learning and the experiences of how you got through that experience, how you got from the darkness back into the light, that journey, those steps that you took, document them, remember them. How can you teach others so they don't have to go through that same level of pain? That's what all good teachers are. We take our experiences and we turn them into something that will assist others. So then maybe they don't have to go through as much pain or have to go through it for as long as they could do. Pain is useful. It does get us to wake up, redirect our soul path to where is it that I'm actually meant to be. When it's easy and graceful, that's when you know you're on your soul path. When you get the whispers which says, go do that fun thing that you enjoy doing. And then after a while, and after not too long, things will start to reveal themselves that wouldn't have revealed themselves before unless you had taken those steps, taking action to better yourself, to implement the learnings and lessons that you've gone through and integrate them more deeply by teaching others, by leveling up, like not having to be the same person as you was before. And if you consider every single day a potentially new start to be an even better version of yourself now and in this present moment than yesterday, then you know you're going to be you're already there. Like just keep doing that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much
Mm.
for a reminder and those words of wisdom. And I hope everyone you've enjoyed this conversation and found insightful, because I know I definitely have. So if people want to connect with you, Jennifer, how do they do that? Do you have anything coming up at the moment? Any free gifts, offers to share at all?
Yep. So I've on my website, I've got on my website 108healingsenses.com. If you scroll down on the homepage, I've got a free PDF, two-page PDF spiritual and energy protection, and it goes through lots of different areas, not just some things. I've done a bit more of an in-depth about how you can support your energy field, and be self-sovereign in your energy. So that's my free giveaway. And you can do soul coaching with me as well, that I, depending on what you need, for also for how long, I do 30 minute 30-minute appointments and longer as well, because sometimes you might just need a little pick me up, a little shift in time, or just new perspectives. That I wanted to offer something for everyone, because I know what it's like when you're on your journey. You can get me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. I'll give you all the links, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, 108 healing senses. That's me.
Yeah. So if you search that, you will find Jennifer.
Yeah.
That's how I found uh some of the stuff that she's actually doing. So thank you so much, Jennifer, for that. And of course, for everyone watching, if you are ready for even more clarity and transformation, I'd love to invite you to a free 20-minute live soul path discovery one-to-one video call, where during our time together, I'll pull a couple of angel oracle cards to help you gain clarity and uncover guidance from your higher self or the angels. This is your chance to reflect, connect, and gain insight into your path forward. And I would truly be honored to chat with you one-to-one, guide you, and help you take the next step toward living the life that you were always meant to live. And of course, I also have a couple of free gifts for you designed to help you connect more and deeply with your guides and angels and explore your future. So do check out the link in the comments after the show to grab yours. And again, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'd like to invite you to share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost and want to get clear on their destiny just like you. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified when the show goes live. My other show, Oracle Cards and Meditation and Weekend Reset, which goes live every Friday at 3 p.m. I post new guided meditations or any of the other shows that I do. And every time that you subscribe, like, share, comment, not just my shows on YouTube, Facebook, etc., but my guests as well. You're really helping all of us, to expand our message, to help bring that unconditional love, guidance, and wisdom to other people. So you're part of that butterfly effect of doing that. So please don't be shy to do that. And I look forward to you all joining me, same time, same place next week. Take care, everyone. Bye. And that's a